Hi folks, so today's video is going to be on the Crown of London shipwreck. In 1679, after the Scottish Covenanters uprising was quashed at the Battle of Bothwell Brig, around 1,200 prisoners were left, herded into an open space at Greyfriars Church in Edinburgh. Many of these prisoners were set free after making submissions, while some were executed and others died of illness and wounds. The 250 prisoners that were left proved to be a problem and had to be dealt with. So in November 1679, these unfortunate souls were led on a ship, the Crown of London, in Leith, where they were to be transported to English plantations in America to become slaves. Under the command of Captain Patterson, the Crown of London set sail in December 1679. The captain's planned course is unknown, but the ship's first port of call was Orkney, where on December 10th, 1679, she sheltered from a storm off the coast of Headland in the parish of Deerness, a mile or two from the sheltered bay of Deer Sound. In a gale typical for that season, the ship was driven onto the rocks after her anchor chain snapped. The captain and crew escaped the doomed vessel by hacking down the ship's mast and climbing across it to reach land. The prisoners, however, were not so fortunate. They had been confined to the hold and the hatches battened down. Under the captain's orders, for the reason behind this act was simple. The captain would be paid for the number of slaves on board the vessel, or compensated for those who died on the voyage, but would receive nothing for prisoners that escaped. So when the ship left port, Patterson took steps to make sure none did. One of the crew did attempt to rescue by breaking through the deck with an axe. His valiant effort meant that around 50 prisoners escaped and made it to shore. The remainder perished on the ship as it broke up and sank. It's said that over the following days, bodies washed up all over for miles the Deerness coast. The remainder perished as the ship broke up and sank. It's said that over the following days, bodies washed up over 3 miles up and down the Deerness coast. Of the 47 or so prisoners that escaped to shore, most were recaptured and shipped to slavery in Jamaica or New Jersey. The people of Orkney were told that the prisoners were rebels, fleeing from justice, but some are said to have escaped capture. Tradition has it that some survivors made it to Stormness, where they found passage on a ship to Holland. Local tradition also tells us that some were permitted to settle in Orkney. It has also been suggested that the ship filled with prisoners was never meant to make it to the colonies. A fully laden vessel travelling north routes at that time of the year was bound to run into trouble, especially when it had no provisions adequate for such a major voyage. At this time in history, the colonial ports of America were only open to ships from England, a fact that makes it highly doubtful that the ship bearing cargo from Scotland would have been permitted to land. Was there a darker motive behind the voyage of the Crown of London? The monument of the Covenanters was erected in Deerness in 1888. The monument was placed here to remember those who drowned on the ship, 300 yards from the spot where the ship went down. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Thanks, guys.